Good morning and welcome back to the Daily Grind. I forgot to say happy Friday. I'm your host Chump Change. This is live and recorded. For anybody that might be new here, what we typically do is go over crypto news in the space. I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. So you guys see the title, Bitcoin 200k or Kaspa to $2 after 2025. I found a video that is super interesting and I actually shared it with my VIPs yesterday, so I apologize if you guys have already seen this, and hopefully the guy don't get mad that I'm gonna watch it with you guys, at least the beginning of it. You guys can watch the end of it on your own, but yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. But anyways, let's see who's here and then we'll get into this. Mr. Dan R, good morning, sir. We have Rud Puts in the house. Kyle Rosa, what's up, man? Rob Mines, good to see you. We have Nismo Miner, Duke Nukem in the house. My man Neil, good to see you, man. Backatran, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Big Black, Max Voltage, Matt Electron. Listen, it's Lamborghini, not Lambo. All right, say it right if you're gonna say it. $2 Kaspa, that's Lambo money, that's what he says. DJ Mines, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Perfect. Let's see, Black Hat Team, we have Mr. Rude Puts, I believe, is in the chat. If he's not, happy Friday to you, sir, when you're watching this later. We got Dakota Miner, Nerd Beast, everybody else I may have missed, I apologize. Let's get into this, if I can fix that. All right, we got Bitcoin 59,371 bucks. It looks like things are coming back a little bit. We got Ethereum just under 3,000 at 29.88. Solana's at 137. We have XRP at 51 cents. ADA's at 45 cents. We have LTC at $80. Kaspa's at 10.5 cents, a little bit down on the day. Perfect buying opportunity, especially once you guys listen to this video. It's probably gonna change your minds at least a little bit on Kaspa. We have IMX $2.23. Looks like ETC's at 25 bucks. I think that's undervalued as well. Let's see, Celestia $9.82. Oh, and actually Mr. Max Voltage, if you're still here, your BitTensor is in that same video with this Kaspa video, so you might like it a lot more than just a little. All right, let's move on to crypto bubbles. Nothing else really jumping out at me. Let's see. All right, Arweave right here, up to $35.69 to 11.9%. We have Toncoin at 9.3% up on the day to $5.33. Immutable X right here, $2.25, up 6.8%. HBAR is up 6.6% to 10.5 cents. Pendle is up 6.8% to 4.75. We have Bonk up 5.8% today. Pepe up 4%. Dogwoof Hat up 2.8%. Sui is actually down 5.4%. That's a oof. $1.09. Let's see. Jasmine is up 5%, just changed to 5.1. Nice. Look at that. It's up almost to 2 pennies. Let's see. Crow. This is the crypto.com tokens at 12.5. Sorry, almost 13 cents rather. Nothing else really jumping. Nothing I really care about, to be honest. Kaspa's down on the day, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Again, buying opportunity. I'm thinking about putting some more into it today, but I got to get some more liquid cash. BitTensor up 1.9% to $400. Man, this coin is expensive, and this video will make you want to buy some, but we're not going to watch the entire thing. All right, flashbang, apologize. Neutral on the fear and greed index over here at a 48. This is exactly what we need. This is what we need. We need a reset on this chart. Yeah, it's BitTensor. I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Just kidding, Max, just kidding. All right, guys, again, over 75 is where like I really start getting worried. Be greedy when people are fearful, be fearful when people are greedy. Famous lines of Warren Buffett right now. We're dead center, more or less. This is yeah, market could go either way, right? I mean, listen, expect pullbacks, expect the unexpected, let's put it that way. All right, CoinGecko over here, trending coins. Looks like ICE Open Network, I have no idea what that is, up 19.9% today. We have TommyNet up 0.8%, and Synthernet, that's how you say that. I probably just butchered that. 20 cents, down 2.1% today. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over here on CoinGecko. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, USDC. We have XRP, Lido Staked Ether, Dogecoin, and Toncoin still in 10th place at an $18.4 billion market cap. Crazy. Cardano is at a $15 billion market cap. I think this one is a sleeping giant as well, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. You guys know 2017, 2021 bull run. I'm gonna try not to drag this on too long, but I don't know. I think it has a very good potential to run up on at the end of 2024, or at least in my opinion. It's down 85%, so it might be an easy 6x for a lot of you guys. Man, I really gotta get some soundproof and stuff in here because I feel like I'm echoing. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I apologize. Let's see. You've been sick the last few days. Max voltage. I'm sorry, buddy. That's terrible. That's terrible. What do you think? Kaspa will go to the moon. Monster Pro. I think it's gonna do very well. And this video we're gonna watch is gonna change your minds if you don't think it's gonna do very well. All right, we have Ethereum Classic in 29th place over here. Top 100 coins. I still think this is a good coin to get as well. Down 84% over the year. If you guys didn't see my altcoin video I made a couple weeks ago, go check it out. It was just kind of one of those videos where, you know, I point out a couple coins that I think could possibly do, you know, 5-10x's, which is definitely possible. All right, I'm gonna move on just because I want to get into these videos. So the mining segment of things, we're not going to mine the ASIC because their website is broken. So we're going to what to mine. And to be honest, I kind of like this dashboard a little bit better. I ain't gonna lie. We have the Bitmain Antminer KS5 Pro. You guys know I like to timestamp these machines to see where they were at. We have a $90.22 over here, 24-hour revenue. I actually, you know what? Maybe I'll read the profit. Yeah, I'm gonna read the profit column. Sorry, it's a little different for me. So 82.66 would be your profit here on the Antminer KS5 Pro. This is after the 10 cents per kilowatt hour, and I like how it's got the 3 different coins, the 3 options. You can see nice hacks on the top. We got Kaspa and Cedra coin underneath that. Interesting. So apparently this is swapping what K heavy hash rate to Bitcoin on nice hash. Interesting. Doughboy, what's up, man? Good to see you. We have the Bitmain Antminer KS5 20 terahash unit making making $78.72 a day. We got the Gold Shell AL block still holding third on the list at $48.71. Not too bad. Looks like, man, yeah, that's crazy. That's weird. So you can put this on nice hash as well. Blake 3. Interesting. We have the Ice River KS5L making $42.80 a day after 10 cents kilowatt hour. Again, depending on what you mine, there's a whole list of things right here. Oh, that's kind of cool. So this is the profit chart for all 3 coins. Interesting. That's really neat. I like how they did this, actually. I like how they did this. Maybe we'll start using this one more. The IB-Link BMKS Max making $36.43 a day mining Kaspa. The Antminer KS3, let's see. We got $31.86. Let's move down. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. The Bitmain Antminer L9 is on the list. Well, first, the KS3 is making $26.69, but the L9 is projected to make $24.19. Look at that. Hell yeah. Perfect. That's pretty sick. Not gonna lie. We have nice hash, top of the charts on that one for the script, and then 2303 if you're just mining Dogecoin directly, which I would do for sure. Let's see. The KS3M is $17.32 a day. We got the KS3L making $13.80. The Jazzminer X16P making $13.49 over here. Mining Larissa in Octaspace. Look at that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Mr. Vinny, thank you so much for the membership for 1 month, dude. You're awesome. Kaspa to the top. Wait, I'm telling you, this video like blows my mind. It was very good, and the guy deserves way more subs if he's that intelligent. You guys will see it in a minute. Anyways, let's move on real quick. Let's see the L79050. We have over here, this is what I got mining down in Terra Hosting. Shout out to them. 10 cents kilowatt hour is what I'm paying, so I'm making $8.64 a day. Man, I wish mine the ASIC was working. I kind of want to see what the I feel like that's low. I feel like that's low, but I don't know if mine the ASIC's like padding shit. Hold on. I want to see. Yeah, the site's broken, so I can't. Damn it. Sucks. I wanted to compare it because that's I want to see what their prices are, because I'm feeling like they might be a bit higher than what it shows here. That's strange. Anyways, the Ice River KS2 making $5.71 a day. I'm gonna scroll down a bit. The Ice River KS1 making $2.86 a day. Bruh. That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. Whereas, oh, what's this? The S21 Pro. Man, the S21 at 10 cents is only making $2.34. Oh my God. That's terrible. That is terrible. All right, scrolling down a little bit. Let's see. Where are the KS0s? Right here. Ice River KS0 Pro making 62 cents. Looks like Nice Hack takes that one by a penny over mining Kaspa itself. I'd still mine Kaspa itself instead of going to Bitcoin. That's just my opinion. The Ice River KS0 original unit, 27 cents. Crazy. Crazy. Where's the S19K? Is it like way down? Is it on this list? There it is. Oh god.
Bruh.
We're still 120 terahash unit. S19K Pro. I'm still losing $1.10 a day down at Terra Hosting. Damn it. Actually, I don't even know. Are they did they lower their rates? Someone was saying they lowered the rates. I'm not sure if they did, but regardless, this is at 10 cents kilowatt hour. If you move it to 9 cents, it's like pennies, right? You're still losing pennies, but it's crazy how much the charts actually change. All right, let's move on to GPUs over here. Let's see. All right, most profitable coin on GPUs seems to be Ironfish, man. Is Ironfish going to carry us through this entire market? What's going on here? What do you guys think? Do you guys think Ironfish is going to stay on the top? They're at 9.5 cents. Oh, okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember if it was dropped at all, but anyways, great hosting facility. I've had literally 100% uptime on all my units, which is awesome. Anyways, 4090 Ironfish and Pyron looks to be the top of the charts. We got Ironfish and the 170HX, Ironfish and Pyron pretty much all the way down. Ironfish and Graham on the 7900 XTX. Interesting, very interesting. We have Xano and Graham on the 7900 XT. Yeah, this looks like Ironfish just taking the cake on everything. So I'm just gonna skip this because who cares at that point. All right, let's move on. New coins. Let's see what we got over here on miningpoolstats.stream. Still the same thing 7 days ago, or 7 days old estimated age on this AI D-Pen. Again, living off the hype of two buzzwords. I guess we'll have to see what that coin actually ends up doing, if anything at all. We have Kevacoin over here on the upcoming events. 9 days from now, it's going through halving. I don't know if anybody minds this or has this or cares about this. Let me know. Pyron is going through a 5th inning in 18 days. And Ethereum Classic, which I'm kind of looking forward to, is going down to ETC 2.048. It's going through a 5th inning in 27 days. So that could be a good one as well. That could be a good for the price of Ethereum, but I guess we'll have to see. It could be good and bad. You know, it's kind of like everything else. Let's see. I'll have to send you some pictures of my Dubai trip. Nice, man. That's awesome, Yeti. Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the news segment of things so we can get into that video sooner than later. All right, this is Funstrat's Tom Lee. Inflation improving will lift clouds and allow markets to do well. Let's see what he's got to say over here on CNBC television. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Fundstrat Global Advisors Tom Lee joins us with his predictions. Tom, it's great to have you back. I imagine you were listening just now, and I wonder if you take these sort of disparate signals out of earnings so far, and is that just characteristic of a period in which the job market may be in transition?
I think that's right, Carl. I know investors are wrestling with a lot of questions in their minds because inflation is higher than they expected at the start of this year, and rates are higher, and stocks are higher. So they're wondering if this is a payback period. And now we're hearing different forecasts for Fed cuts. And as you're pointing out, like I think it's been an overall good earnings season, but we're hearing evidence of companies not being able to pass on price, and there's some demand weakness and wage pressures. I think that's part of the confusion that's taking place now. But to me, I'm kind of in the camp that despite all this, it's all going to come down to whether inflation improves in the next couple of months or the rest of the year. And if it does, a lot of these sort of clouds lift, and I think markets actually do quite well.
Which is why I think the consumer weakness commentary and the weakness that Chair Powell cited in terms of demand for labor, at least weakening back to pre-pandemic levels, is important, right, Tom? Shouldn't that ultimately bring inflation levels down?
That's right. I mean, I'd say the interview that CNBC did with Starbucks yesterday was very telling. I think that the answer ultimately there is they probably have to cut price, and if they're cutting prices, that's not reflation anymore. It's a reversal of that. And I think we're seeing consumers basically have their wallet getting squeezed because auto insurance and homeowners insurance has really sort of eaten in their discretionary dollars. And again, that's not really an inflationary signal. So I think the bar is actually being lowered now for the Fed to cut. And I think that's something I think many people picked up. I mean, the Fed stated it clearly. If the employment market even shows signs of weakness, that's another reason to cut rates, and we'll find out tomorrow.
Well, yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what the job market tells us, Tom. So then, does the playbook short term look like mega cap, or are you in the broadening camp and want to play in the other 493?
Well, yesterday was a good day for market breadth. That's why small caps rallied despite the S&P and NASDAQ being down. And, you know, it really comes down to what interest rates do. I think that there's a, you know, still a good probability rates are peaking now. And if interest rates are lower because we either get softer jobs or inflation weakens, that's a, you know, that's a more 493 signal and obviously much better backdrop for small caps. So that would be sort of what we think leads in the second half. But I still like the technology story just because of all the drivers behind AI.
Although quite a reaction that we're getting on earnings. I think I read in a Goldman note, it's like almost, it's at least 3.5 times the normal reaction to that stocks are having to earnings than they usually get off earnings season, which, I don't know, what does that tell us, Tom, that the market was rich going in?
I mean, it could be the market was rich or the market is really grappling with trying to understand what the real narrative is between now and the end of the year because, you know, on the one hand, if inflation's accelerating, then we would have a very different playbook in our head. And if demand is faltering, or if things are just fine, and that's why companies who are beating are doing really well. So I think that's the confusion. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think as much as it feels bad because April was a down month, I still think probabilities favor May being an up month. And, of course, that the market does well the rest of the year.
Shout out to Tom Lee for that. All right, let's move on. Guys, if you're just joining, we'll get into the price prediction video in a second. Well, after the next two videos. I like to go through the news first. All right, Coinbase CFO Alicia Haas, Bitcoin ETF unlocked a flywheel of engagement in Q1. Let's see what they got to say over here on CNBC television. Let's do it.
Coinbase shares are lower by about 4% after reporting Q1 revenue, beating estimates. Joining us now in an exclusive interview ahead of the earnings call, Coinbase CEO Alicia Haas. Alicia, thanks for coming on overtime. I think probably a lot of investors are trying to sort through the noise of a very strong Bitcoin quarter and, you know, things like consumer transaction revenue just about doubling quarter over quarter. What are the health metrics in the business that you're most focused on?
Oh, snap. Bitcoin is pumping. Crazy. I just looked over at my trading view. Yeah, it's at 60,600 right now. Nice.
Well, thanks for having me today. So Q1 was a very strong quarter for Coinbase, and we saw growth across the board, driven by the strong market conditions, but we also saw the product investments that we've made over the last 2 years really pay off. So we gained market share across spot and derivatives trading. We saw all-time highs on our Prime platform, which is our institutional platform. We accelerated adoption and scalability of Base, our layer 2 blockchain, which is designed to bring people on chain and into the next generation of crypto applications. And really, we just continue to make strides at building a stronger, more durable, diversified revenue streams.
What's the long-term impact of these Bitcoin ETFs now going to be on your business? If I'm more of a traditional investor, I can now access this through my brokerage account rather than going through the likes of a Coinbase. So what does that mean for you?
Well, ETFs really unlocked a flywheel of engagement across the Coinbase Prime platform. We've said that ETFs would be a benefit to Coinbase and the ecosystem, and that really played out in Q1. What we saw is just net inflows across the board. So yes, we saw $11 billion of inflows into ETFs, but we also saw an increase in consumer trading on our platform, an increase in institutional trading. And as I said, on the institutional side, this flywheel, we saw people engaging in financing, we saw people engaging in trading, we saw people engaging in custody. And as a result, we had 40% of our institutional clients engaged in 3 or more products on the Prime platform in Q1. So really it was a lift across the board and benefited the entire ecosystem.
Your institutional transaction revenue was up 133% quarter over quarter, stronger, a lot smaller, yet stronger than consumer transaction revenue. Do you expect that to continue?
You know, we definitely have seen an increase in institutions coming into crypto. I think it's important to remember in the last bull market in 2021, This was just when institutions started to adopt crypto. And they've continued to be steadily growing their exposure to this asset class over time. So over the long run, yes, I expect to see more institutions come into this space. But as we look quarter to quarter, I think it ebbs and flows. And I think we could see different trends impacting consumers and institutions. And so we don't look at just one quarter of impact to say this is a durable trend. But over the last few years, we've definitely seen increasing institutional adoption, and we expect that to increase.
If you're looking at big picture headline impacts to customer activity, what are you seeing from both geopolitical turmoil on one side and then just the fluctuation in yields on the bond side?
So broadly, what we see is customers focus on crypto trends, and they are not as focused on broader macro or geopolitical. That can impact our market makers, that can impact institutions, but on the retail side, it tends to be much more, do I like this asset class? What's happening in crypto? What are the trends happening in this market as opposed to the broader markets?
All right, shout out to the CFO of Coinbase. All right, video is going to be after this one. Again, I'm just trying to recap the news quick, and then we'll get on to it because I haven't watched this yet. Mr. Dan R, dude, thanks for being a member for 12 months, dude. You're awesome. Boom shakalaka, 1 year, dude. That's crazy. 1 year flew. You're awesome, man. All right, Bitcoin climbs back to 59,000. As you guys know, I think we're peaking almost 60 and a half right now. It says 60,200 over here on Coin 360, but a trading view, it's 60,400 as of right now. All right, let's see what they got to say over here. It says Fed signals is unlikely to raise rates. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Get into the Kaspa video next. Let's do it.
Today, Bitcoin and Ether rise after the Fed keeps interest rates unchanged. Arkansas state lawmakers pass new rules for crypto miners. In New Form Capital's Alex Marinier breaks down why traditional institutions are now more open to blockchain investment.
That dude looks friggin' AI AF. He looks so fake. That's crazy.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Cryptocurrencies recovering some of their losses after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said the central bank's next move is unlikely to be a rate hike. Bitcoin rose about 4% to $59,200 by noon Eastern. Ether advanced more than 3% to $29.90, and Solana jumped 12% to trade at $139. Okay, let's talk about some of the top stories. Bitcoin mining firm Stronghold Digital announced first quarter earnings and said it's exploring a possible sale. The company reported $27.5 million in revenue last quarter, up nearly 60% year over year, plus $5.8 million in net income. But in that same earnings release, Stronghold said it had started a formal strategic review process using outside advisors. It said it's considering alternatives to maximize shareholder value, and that includes a sale of all or part of the company's assets. Greg Beard, the chairman and CEO of Stronghold, said the company has observed what we believe to be a valuation dislocation when comparing Stronghold's market value to valuations of public Bitcoin mining peers, merchant power companies, and data center and power generation assets trading in the market. Shares were down about 2% at noon. The news of
JP Riggs used to work there, Stronghold Digital.
course, comes after the Bitcoin halving, which slashed miner revenue and was expected to lead to consolidation in the Bitcoin mining pool.
That's cool.
Next, and sticking with Bitcoin mining, Arkansas's state legislature has passed new rules reining in crypto miners. Lawmakers passed two bills on Wednesday. Senate Bill 78 creates requirements for miners to reduce noise coming from their facilities. That's been a growing complaint from Arkansas residents who have sued over the fan noise coming from miners within the state.
Oh, dude, didn't we see the news clip on that? Like, was it last week? There was someone like complaining, like they built a facility in like a garage, and these fans were just stupid loud, pumping right at someone's house. Like it was like right next door.
Meanwhile, Senate Bill 79 adds permitting requirements and regulations for digital asset miners by amending Arkansas's Data Centers Act of 2023. That law sought to limit regulation of miners at the local level. Lawmakers later said that they didn't have all the information about that 2023 bill when they passed it. Now, these latest bills head to Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' desk. And finally, PayPal is enabling customers of the Web3 exchange MoonPay to buy crypto through PayPal. The two companies announced today that MoonPay users now have the ability to buy and sell more than 110 tokens with PayPal, whereas other integrations only allow users to buy its stablecoin PayPal USD or ETH using their PayPal account. MoonPay says the partnership will help customers who struggle to buy crypto with debit cards due to certain bank restrictions. PayPal began offering crypto services back in 2020, and just this past summer, it announced its own dollar-backed stablecoin, the first for a major U.S. financial institution.
That's crazy. What? Well, that was some cool news. MoonPay isn't cheap. What do you? How does that work? Do you have to pay for it like per transaction or like monthly? How does that work? I'm gonna have to look into that.
Turning to venture
weird.
capital investments for our main
MoonPay.
story. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Alex Marinier, founder and general partner at Newform Capital, an early-stage VC firm, about trends to watch in the fintech and blockchain space. He explains why more traditional finance institutions are now moving towards blockchain investments.
Real quick before she talks to this guy, this is MoonPay. Your gateway to Web3 experience the best of Web3 using MoonPay. Showed over 15 million people around the world. Dude, that's kind of cool, actually. Look at this. Oh, look, they have MetaMask in here. Oh, man, crazy. I guess I'll have to look into this.
You believe there's a, quote, seismic shift happening on Wall Street with traditional institutions that have historically ignored blockchain investments now seriously looking at the sector. So you're the founder and general partner of Newform Capital, a blockchain-focused VC firm. So what have you been noticing when it comes to Wall Street's appetite for blockchain technology, and what do you attribute the shift in sentiment to? What are some of the catalysts? Do they include the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs here in the US earlier this year?
Yeah, that's absolutely been the biggest catalyst so far.
Doesn't he kind of look like that Giga Chad guy?
This year in both the appreciation of crypto prices and the kind of re-engagement that we're seeing amongst large financial asset firms on Wall Street. Look, it's no secret that the blockchain space has had a rough go in 2022 with the market correction and the frauds that came to light during that correction. And mostly the media has been covering the space in a negative light, covering the frauds and the more speculative nature in the space. But BlackRock kind of spearheading this new ETF push and unveiling a number of other tokenized assets has really kind of recentered the conversation around a new generation of digital financial assets that are running on tokenized rails. So, when Larry Fink, who runs the world's largest asset manager, says at Davos that, their grand plan is to tokenize $10 trillion of their AUM on tokenized rails, people tend to listen. So I think with the price appreciation, with kind of leaving crypto winter and a lot of the negative press behind us, you're starting to see sophisticated investors revisit the space and really kind of test blockchain technology for its merits as it pertains to financial markets.
Pretty awesome. First. Good morning, Mr. Geek of all trades. Thanks for showing up.
So what are you noticing are some of the use cases and opportunities in the blockchain space for traditional institutions? What have they been most interested in recently?
So we just touched on Larry Fink, talking about how he's planning on tokenizing $10 trillion of their financial assets. Some viewers might be asking, what does tokenization mean? That's really just kind of the process of taking a more traditional financial asset and coming up with a digital representation of that asset that trades on-chain and enables a lot of the benefits of having an on-chain assets. Benefits that include 24/7 peer-to-peer transfers, built-in KYC and regulatory compliance, programmatic payments and dividends that you can build into these different blockchain-based securities. That's really kind of the interesting part to us, and we're investing in companies that are helping with that tokenization process. You also saw, another super large financial manager, Franklin Templeton, come out last week and mention that they're actually enabling peer-to-peer transfers for a tokenized money market fund they launched in 2021 on a public blockchain. And the hope is that, longer term assets like that can be interoperable with the broader digital asset ecosystem. So another big kind of step in the right direction from large financial institutions. We also, just last week, saw an announcement from Stripe that they're enabling crypto payments in their product again. This is actually the second time that they've reintroduced it. The first go round, the tech was not quick enough. It wasn't cheap enough, but they're now finding that after 2 years, a lot of the scalability problems have been solved, and it's now cheaper and more pragmatic to enable USDC stablecoin payments in their product. So these are all, massive existing fintech firms and financial asset managers that are kind of announcing big products in the space, all kind of in this larger secular trend of blockchain coming into kind of the Wall Street lexicon.
Now, expanding on that, the Stripe announcement came 6 years after the payments firm dropped support for Bitcoin, citing the token's notoriety for volatile price swings and a lack of efficiency in making everyday transactions. Also in March, you noted this, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, jumped into the asset tokenization race, creating that new fund on the Ethereum network. So what do you make of these developments from traditional financial institution, and what's your outlook for the future of blockchain and finance?
Yeah, so I'll address, you brought up Stripe, so I'll address that first. Stripe, you mentioned that 6 years ago that they had kind of started, they tested the waters with Bitcoin payments, actually. They found that there wasn't a lot of demand for it, citing the volatility that's inherent in Bitcoin. It's also just a question that it was a little bit too early. Digital asset penetration was still in the single digits, whereas they're reaching higher now. The biggest thing is that they're now using USDC, or a stable coin that's pegged to the US dollar. So one, they're taking kind of the volatility out of the equation that's inherent with Bitcoin. But two, the tech has just gotten more scalable and cheaper to transact. So it makes it more pragmatic for the mainstream today. I will say that firms like BlackRock entering the fray is also massive, as it de-risks the space for other asset managers who look to the largest asset managers to see what they're doing. And again, I think we're going to see with this ETF launch that later this year, we'll see different advisors start to advise kind of a 1 to 5% digital asset allocation to their clients' portfolios, which I think is about right given the volatility inherent with the space. And this is all kind of part of a larger shift of crypto and digital assets moving from more of a kind of fringe asset class to entering kind of the mainstream financial portfolio, which is obviously big.
So the price of Bitcoin has been dropping this week, but in March, the cryptocurrency hit a new all-time high above $73,000. How has that played into VC interest in blockchain technology? In February, PitchBook released its fourth quarter update, revealing that the level of investment for crypto-related companies in the quarter climbed for the first time in nearly 2 years amid Bitcoin's stellar run. What do you think about the uptick in crypto VC funding, and what do you think caused that increase?
Yeah, so I've been investing in this space since 2016. There's a lot of inherent cyclicality that comes with investing in digital asset markets. That plays out both in public markets and private markets on the VC side. We work with a lot of our founders to create a plan to become capital efficient, to be able to survive both market booms and busts. Look, I think that we've come a long way in terms of the recovery of the space from the lows in November of 22 post FTX, where Bitcoin was trading around 16 grand. Now we're seeing it in the 50s, even after the recent consolidation. So look, it's definitely a sign that we're moving kind of out of crypto winter into kind of the next phase of the expansion. This isn't our first rodeo, right? We've dealt with these boom and bust cycles before. We try and pay attention to longer, 10-year trends versus having to worry about kind of the daily fluctuations in the space. But you're right in that, that the price action tends to kind of lead private market valuations by about 6 months or so. So you're starting to see the reemergence of interest from more generalist VC funds that typically are fair weather investors. They tend to leave the space in crypto winters and tend to come back when the price action is going up and to the right.
All right, shout out to CNBC Crypto World for that, and shout out to my man Mr. Rondi in the chat. Thank you for the $50 super chat, dude. You're insane. Much love, Brody. Say hi to Pocket Change and hug the kids for me, dude. You're awesome. I appreciate you, and I miss you a bunch. I'll have to come down and visit you at some point. All right, this is the video. We're gonna hear DJ scream in a second once that super chat thing hits. I don't know why it's so laggy, but all right, this is it. This guy talks about Kaspa and BitTensor, right? And he literally put 90% of his portfolio into these two coins, basically, right? So he explains why Kaspa and Bitcoin are on a path to just bigger and better things, right? And it's super interesting to listen to. So this Siam kid, if that's how you say his name, I apologize if I butchered it, but I think you guys should go at least sub to him. Go check him out. He only has 33,000 subs. I say only, it's still a lot, right? But he definitely deserves more with this video. This video is freaking fantastic. So let me know what you guys think about it, obviously, as we're going on with it. And yeah, I'm gonna cut it off before he gets to the BitTensor stuff, and then we will we'll go from there. So you guys can just let me know what you think and go check out the full video down below. Let's do it.
Hi there, my name is Siam Kid from The Realistic Trader, and I want to talk to you about the two things which I've basically put all my entire liquid net worth into. I'm trying to keep this as short a video as possible, and I want to give you the big broad brush reasons why I think how I think. But first of all, I need to talk about the power law. So
pay attention to this. This is super interesting.
Animals, DNA, astronomy, cities, and basically everything on the planet and in the universe have in common, including Bitcoin, and that is the power law. So I'm a bit of a geek, and I love astronomy and science and all that, and it's slightly embarrassing that I only came across the power law in 2024. And the power law is basically it's just a log plot, basically. So it's a chart where both axes are using the logarithmic axes instead of linear. And scientists use this a lot whenever they're looking at anything really small or really vast, like the cosmos. And so the crazy thing is, the power law is a predictive, universal mathematical construct that applies to anything of a network type nature. And it's absolutely fascinating. So in the 1600s, Kepler first stumbled across it, and he obviously knew that we orbited the sun, but he thought that there was a relationship between the radius of that orbit with all the planets in the solar system. And when he plotted the power law for the planet orbits, they all matched up perfectly on this power law line. And as I said, it's predictive nature, because a lot of these planets he didn't even know existed back in the 1600s. So later on, as new planets popped up in that we're aware of, guess what? Bang on the line. And it wasn't until Newton and other scientists sort of picked up on this power law. And one of the pioneers of the power law is a guy called Geoffrey West, who's put a lot of his life into this. And he discovered that basically all animals are on this power law as well, to certain degrees. So you can have different factors of slope, so to speak. But he was basically saying, you give him the mass of any animal, and he can tell you the resting metabolic rate, the breathing, the respiratory system, everything about that animal, just based on the power law. And even if you include far bigger animals or dinosaurs, he can tell you everything about them, how much energy they need to use per day, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, all animals are applied to the power law. You can have a look at wages per population of a city, the average walking speeds per city. So basically, the bigger the population of a city, the higher the walking speed. And everything about cities, because they are network in nature, every part of it is all on the power law. So pretty much everything you can think of applies to the power law, which is absolutely fascinating for me. Ever since I've got into this, I'm learning more and more about the power law, and it just seems like holy smokes, there's something here. So anything with a network will experience power law scaling. And then what happened is that an astrophysicist called Giovanni Santastasi, he had a look at the power law and assets, and he realized there are no assets on the planet that adhere to the power law. He tried the S&P 500, gold and silver, bonds, commodities, nothing worked. And then just for shits and giggles, he applied it to Bitcoin, and boom, this is what happened. So Bitcoin, he did this in 2019, and he put a Reddit post out in 2019 and went, hey, guess what, power law works. And then sort of just disappeared. Didn't really do much with it. But from a physics perspective and a science perspective, it has an R-squared regression here of 0.92. So another way of looking at this, for the layman like myself, and maybe yourself, is that Bitcoin fits to the power law with a 92.1% accuracy, which is absolutely amazing.
That's crazy.
With only 10 years worth of data. And it's no surprising that, Giovanni has basically left the science community and is going all in on a Bitcoin fund. Because this chart and another chart he posted in 2019 has predicted the Bitcoin prices from 2019 to 2024 rather accurately. And the beautiful part of all of this is that When you sort of stretch that to the next cycle, you can see what future prices hold. Now, for those who've never seen a power law or a log chart before, it looks like time is being compressed, but it isn't, because what it's basically showing you is how long will it take for an asset to 10x, and then 10x again, then 10x again, then 10x again. So of course, it's going to take longer and longer for an asset to 10x. So this is why it looks like time is bunching in, but it's not. And so these sinusoidal waves have accurately predicted the Bitcoin cycle highs as well. So the next cycle high we're looking at is the end of 2025. And what this basically shows us is that we should be hitting around $200,000 Bitcoin plus or minus 50K by the end of 2025. And another way
plus or minus 50K. Listen, I will take the $150,000 Bitcoin. He's going to go into Kaspa next.
You can look at the power laws by having, a log plot for price, but then a linear plot for time, and that gives us something which, we can understand a bit better. You can see time doesn't look like it's being compressed, and this one goes out a bit further. And the crazy thing here is the next cycle ends in 2029, so the end of 2029, and we're looking at a 500k Bitcoin plus or minus about 100k, and then the cycle after that is the end of 2033, which is a mind-boggling $1 million Bitcoin plus or minus 200-ish k. So
That's
Bitcoin,
insane.
as I speak right now, is $70,000. So and it's worth having at least one Bitcoin just for shits and giggles, just in case. Because when you look at the projections, 2040 plus, 2037, it's basically $10 million Bitcoin. But that's quite a far way out. We'll have AGI, artificial general intelligence, long before then. And that in itself is an event horizon that no one can really look beyond. So for me personally, my eyes are fixed firmly on this next cycle. And then we'll just play it by ear. There's absolutely no point in looking too far in the future. So
he's 100% on point with that. Like, there's really no point even looking out here. Just focus on the next cycle coming up. That's really all we can bank on right now, right? Because AI could throw things for a loop like 1,000%.
Me, I'm looking at this cycle, trying to maximize my personal net worth and my communities over the next 2 years for this cycle high. Now, but that's not the best bit. So it seems like, hey, go all in on Bitcoin. But the thing is, I never buy Bitcoin. It's this massive oil tanker that takes forever to change. It doesn't grow that fast in crypto terms. Compare it to the S&P 500. Yeah, it'll leave it in the dust. But I never touch Bitcoin. I use that as a barometer. But the thing is, until 2024, no other asset on the planet adhered to the power law. But I've been a trader for 20 odd years, and I've been in crypto really since 2012, but not that, I got heavily in 2016 really. And I had a really strong feeling about a certain crypto that had all of the features and characteristics of Bitcoin, all of the pros, none of the cons. So I was, I've had a whole bunch of Zoom calls with Giovanni. Some of those Zoom calls I put on YouTube, so you can have a look at them. And I really prodded him about one coin in particular. And there's now, guess what? 2 assets on the planet that adhere to the power law, which is Bitcoin and Kaspa. Kaspa, as I said, it's like Bitcoin was the test net for Kaspa, and Kaspa is the thing. It's like Satoshi looked at what Bitcoin did over the last 10 years and went, this is not what I wanted. I wanted digital peer-to-peer cash. And Bitcoin failed horrendously on that because of the technology limitations. But tech has come a long way over the last 12, 13 odd years. So, and this is what Kaspa is. And, I don't want to spend too much time going into Kaspa. This is, there's personal accountability that comes into play when you're investing and trading and looking into cryptos and stuff. And there's just a certain amount of work ethic that you have to put into crypto if you want to make this work. with trading and investing, if you treat it like a hobby, you'll get hobby-like results. If you treat it like a business, you'll get business-like results. So a bit of homework for yourself is to really dive in for yourself into Kaspa and learn about it. And you'll see all sorts of infographics like this. But if I started going into what Dag Knight and Ghost Dag and stuff like that, like, I'm going to lose you all. And the Phantom Protocol and Ghost, like, it's not really going to help you. But long story short, it's a far better version than Bitcoin. Look at the distribution. It's not centralized like Bitcoin is. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be decentralized, but it's basically just owned by the big money at the moment. But more importantly, and this is the thing, it solved the trilemma. Now, this is an issue that crypto has had forever. And a lot of people seem to have forgotten about it. But it's actually the biggest deal. So in crypto, you have three things, and this is what the trilemma is. You can either have decentralization. I know the Americans put a Z there, but S is the correct way. You have security down here. Excuse, my handwriting is normally neater than this, but I've got a silly trackpad thingy. And then scalability.
He's apologizing for writing in like paint over here. Like, that's not easy.
Here we go. So typically for a crypto, you can either choose two things but not three. So Bitcoin went for security. It's very secure. And it went for decentralization, even though it's not decentralized now. But it lacked on scalability. Like, it could only do a maximum of 7 transactions per second. It averages around 4, and it can't really do much about that. So in order to tick the scalability box, it has to rely on layer 2s. So other protocols based on top of Bitcoin, like the Lightning Network and whatnot. Ethereum, similar sort of thing. But until Kaspa came along, no one had come along and properly solved the trilemma. And Kaspa is a massive tick in all of these boxes. So that is a huge thing. It seems like Twitter and the whole internet sort of like are massively disregarding this. Go, oh yeah, so it solved the trilemma, so what? Well, it is a massive freaking deal. So, and the crazy thing here, Kaspa is just over 2 years old, and in just 2 years worth of data, it already has a higher R-squared regression than Bitcoin did. So this was Bitcoin. So this is the original Bitcoin. This was after 10 years worth of data. It had a 92.1% fit. Kaspa has a 92.35% fit with just 2 years of data, which is absolutely fascinating, because as Kaspa grows and as time progresses, it's only going to get more accurate. And so this is one of the reasons why I'm so fascinated with it. Now, Miko Geno on Twitter, he has basically devoted his whole Twitter profile or X profile towards Kaspa and the power law, and he's come up with some really lovely charts. So he's done a power law chart with log plot and then normal linear for time, and shown us that this is where Kaspa looks to be going over time. So long story short, the end of this cycle is the end of 2025, and we're looking at around $2. So it's roughly between $2 to $3, according to the power law. Now, obviously, it's a little bit higher if you take in that green line, but one thing we can see is that there's somewhat of a diminishing return. So the next sort of level is going to be around here. And yeah, around $2 to $3, which is great. So at the time of me talking right now, so $2 divided by, what is it, 15 cents right now. So Kaspa is about 15 cents. That's a 13.33x from here, and that's assuming $2. So again, a nice 13x here for your money by cycle end. But here's the crazy thing. This is why I think this is a next cycle thing rather than this cycle. Yes, 13x is great, but for me, look at this. By 2029 cycle high, we're looking at $40.
Could you imagine?
$40. So again, if you do 40 divided by 0.15,
I'm not sure I'm sold on the 40, but this is to say the least. Very, it's like eye-opening.
The 266x from here. So what I've done the calculations that if you bought roughly $10,000 worth of Kaspa right now, you get about 65,000-ish Kaspa, and therefore at $40 by the next cycle, that $10,000 could be worth $2.63 million. So this is a way to potentially set up your nest egg, your future pension. A lot of people, live in that shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like, oh, I should have bought Bitcoin when it's $200 all those years ago. I wish I bought Apple or Amazon or Facebook, etc. But no one ever actually acts on that sort of hindsight, because when something is slapping you in the face, and it is that very same thing, people still fumble the bag. So
So just think about Bitcoin when it was like pennies, before it really like did anything. Under $1,000, under a couple bucks. Like, we all thought where it's at now is like impossible. I mean, anybody that was around back then, the guy that bought fucking pizza for what, 22,000 Bitcoin or something stupid, not a chance on the planet he thought it was going to go to where it's at today. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't give a shit what you guys do. This was just like, I'm in. Sold. Thanks, bud.
Bare minimum, just buy some Kaspa, and at the bare minimum, just lock it away and come back by end of 2029, because that could be your pension. So that's all I'm saying. Don't put your life savings into this.
And that's the biggest thing. Never risk more than you can afford to lose, right? But like, dude, what's a couple bucks to you guys right now if in 10 years that could literally be retirement money? Do you know what I mean?
But is it worth putting 1 million Kaspa away? Just for the future? Why not? I mean, hell, even $10,000 right now could end up being 2.63 million.
That's insane. That would be insane, but I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it's going to go that high.
As you wish.
Never know.
Now.
All right, so I'm going to stop it here. I don't want to rip off this guy's entire video. I appreciate this thing more than you know, and to be honest, it kind of gets a little bit more shocking. He shows his chart here. He's actually more into BitTensor. Right, he has 81% of his portfolio in BitTensor and 12 right now into Kaspa. So yeah, you guys go listen to that. He talks about how it's like what is it, like Google and something else had a baby, and that's what BitTensor is basically. It's very, very interesting. But BitTensor for most of us is like out of the realm of being able to purchase like super easy, right? So where the hell is it? Goes around here somewhere. Oh, right here. Right here. Again, $410 per coin, right? That's way harder to accumulate than Kaspa is for most of us, and we can mine Kaspa, so it's just one of those things. But again, you guys do what you want. Feel how you want to feel. The link is in the description. I totally recommend you guys at least go subscribe and just kind of watch some of his stuff. And let me know what you think about it down in the comments below after the fact. All right, let's move on to Altcoin Daily's video. The BlackRock crypto market crash has begun, and then we're going to raid Miss Randy Hipper after this, guys. Hit that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
There's a lot of opportunity. It is a great store, and this is where you can debate. Is it a good store?
Larry Fink and the largest asset manager on earth, BlackRock, has started to sell their Bitcoin. BlackRock reports first outflows as Bitcoin ETFs shrink 20% since March. And it's not just BlackRock, it's also Fidelity, ARK, Bitwise, all of the Bitcoin ETFs in red this month. As of yesterday, the US Bitcoin ETF outflows saw 564 million to the negative. Today's panic selling dumped over 9,700 BTC onto the market. And this is not the time to panic, despite what your mom's favorite comedian continues to tell you.
Bitcoin is so stupid. Come on. It's all crashing. I mean, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's preposterous.
The truth is, the US spot Bitcoin ETFs still hold a lot of Bitcoin. BlackRock's on-chain holdings are still 50 steps forward, now just a few steps back. Fidelity, same thing, 50 steps forward, now just minimal steps back. But if you're invested in cryptocurrency, watch today's whole video, as we'll talk how much more selling of Bitcoin from these ETFs should we expect. Also Cardano news, XRP news, lower cap altcoin news, and much more. But starting with Bitcoin, even though the selling has escalated this month.
Yeah, you don't think BlackRock's going to buy the dip? Exactly, Nismo Miner. 100%. They're going to FUD the shit out of this to scare people so they can buy more, because that's what they want. They want to lower the price to get in lower, right?
Really started back in April. The spot Bitcoin ETFs in total saw 344 million net withdrawals in April as flow reversal continued. And this was a reversal. This was the first monthly net outflows since trading began in January. And while obviously led by Grayscale, they're in the red right here. They're always selling. It's what we started seeing from the rest. We saw Grayscale's fund exiting 2.5 billion, exiting the ETF over the last month. ARK Invest witnessed 86.3 million in monthly net outflows for April. Also Valkyrie, yet we were always held up by BlackRock.
You could say this is a great potential long-term store of value.
BlackRock had a 71-day inflow streak. Last month, BlackRock's IBIT continued to dominate net inflows into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, taking in 1.5 billion during April. This was massive. This was a run that put BlackRock in the top 10 ETFs of all time. Yet that came to an end on April 23rd, and the fund has seen 5 days of consecutive zero flows since. Now, how can a fund have zero inflows? Are the Bitcoin ETF numbers being manipulated? This was a question people were asking. How is it possible that there were zero inflows and outflows from BlackRock for 3 days straight? Actually, now 5 days. Is it possible that BlackRock isn't selling their holdings when their clients sell? And I guess it's no manipulation, it's just middlemen. The answer is authorized participants, of course. They act as a buffer within a limited volatility range. I appreciate that perspective. But either way, these zero inflows and outflows have stopped, and now it is just outflows. So BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has had their first day of outflows, 37 million, yet has taken in $15 billion plus in Bitcoin year to date. For perspective, iShares Gold ETF has had $1 billion of outflows this year. Another gold ETF has also had $3 billion in outflows, and gold is up 16% year to date. This is what ETFs do. Inflows don't go up in a straight line. And just in, huge announcement, MicroStrategy unveils plans for a Bitcoin-based decentralized identity using ordinals.
We call MicroStrategy Orange. Thank you, Michael. Michael presented a very compelling case for why we need decentralized identity and DIDs, decentralized identifiers.
So MicroStrategy has already built one application using its service. Orange for Outlook integrates digital signatures into emails to enable recipients to verify the identity of the sender.
He made an even more compelling case why it makes sense to anchor digital identity into the Bitcoin blockchain, protected by the strength and the security of the Bitcoin network.
What this means for you as a Bitcoin hodler: MicroStrategy just launched an enterprise platform for building decentralized apps on Bitcoin. Perfect. This adds to the fundamental value.
And then he introduced a specification that we open sourced today. The first draft of the specification is available on the MicroStrategy GitHub today for how you actually do that. How do you create a decentralized identifier anchored into Bitcoin?
And also, just in, US PayPal users can now purchase the following cryptocurrencies through MoonPay, meaning Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink, SHIB, Doge, now can be bought through PayPal. And speaking of PayPal, the former...
Dude, SHIB and Doge are so... Raoul Powell said it perfectly. They're such a cockroach in the industry. They just don't go away. That's crazy.
PayPal president David Marcus says Bitcoin is going to be the native currency of AI.
No one in the world will accept any
that's interesting,
form of native digital value that's not maximally neutral, right? Because it's not like the Europeans are not going to accept an American version of a digital asset. Or vice versa. And so, what is the most neutral form of digital native internet money? It's Bitcoin. And so if you make it super efficient, super fast, real time, at the speed of AI transactions, that's basically going to be the native currency of AI.
And this is very interesting BlackRock has officially reached out to Hedera. This time, there's no misinterpretation. And this all stems from some people said it was fake news. BlackRock said it was fake news at the time. That BlackRock just tokenized one of their money market funds on Hedera. Actually, this was more...
What? Is that... What? That's legit. What in the hell?
Through a third party, Archax. BlackRock made a comment saying, no, we have had no contact with HBAR. In this exclusive audio from the president
Is that some bullshit again, or is he legit? I haven't seen this, so I have no idea. Did anybody else look into this?
Hedera.
If BlackRock ever wanted to have the conversation with us to join the governing council and actually help us direct and govern the network in a really awesome way with the knowledge of financial services, I mean, obviously we'd be very open to that. But, you know, I see Graham here too, and Graham could probably give you from an Archax standpoint how things really went. But actually, you know, oddly enough, BlackRock has reached out since. You know, they want to have conversations. They've been, you know, really kind about the whole thing. And I can tell you a lot of...
This is an example of something the mainstream media won't share with you.
Yeah, well, thanks for cutting it off halfway through. What the hell?
And again, watch today's whole video. We'll talk lower cap altcoins, but maybe it'll be Cardano that achieves full adoption from the AI and globally.
I do believe next year there's going to be a huge drive in cryptocurrency adoption. So there's going to be a lot of scalability demands on Cardano.
Here's what's next for Cardano.
Leos, I think, is going to give us dramatic increase in overall layer 1 performance. And then when complemented with rollups, which we're getting with Plutus V3, and thanks to projects like ZK Fold and Midnight and other things, and complemented with where Hydra is going and how rapidly Hydra is evolving, and also complemented with advancements to our programming model and partner chains, this house of things together will make us best in class for scalability. Now, I mentioned solve the blockchain trilemma. We still have 50% Byzantine resistance. It doesn't reduce to a third or a quarter with this protocol, which translates to much higher security than all the people who pursue these types of things. We still have our best-in-class decentralization, and with partner chains, it'll dramatically increase because there's more revenue coming in, so more people will want to be stake pool operators, so you'll have more operators overall inside the system.
In lower cap altcoin news, Layer 0 takes a snapshot as airdrop draws closer. So of course, Layer 0 is an interoperability protocol. And if you missed this airdrop, which I did, I don't hold any at the moment, they have indicated that there will be a series of airdrops if you still want to take advantage. But the reason...
Guys, please be careful with airdrops, though. If you're new into the space or if like you really don't know much about it, please be careful, okay? Depending on what wallet you have and what you're linking, do it with like a fresh wallet if you can. If you have to like exchange some coin to get into the airdrop, like only put that amount of money into that wallet to do it and then link that wallet. Don't put like all your holdings on the same wallet that you're actually linking shit to, please.
I wanted to bring this news story to you.
I really wish like videos like this would say that, at least just warn people about airdrops, because man, you could get so wrecked trying to like get into an airdrop.
Is because snapshots typically act as a precursor to outflows because airdrop farmers often move liquidity to other projects. Meaning,
I've only been part of one airdrop, and that was the WEN token, and I linked it, delinked it, and sold it once I got it. Like that, it was immediate. Like I just got rid of it immediately. I didn't want anything to be linked to my wallet and all that shit. So like, I don't know, and I don't hold a lot in that wallet, the Phantom wallet, anyways. So just be careful, guys.
Potentially expect some sell pressure because the snapshot has already happened. So those airdrop farmers no longer need to hold the layer 0, so they can transfer that into something else. Also, 2 more crypto projects offering airdrops. These are projects I'm invested in. Tomorrow, we will announce the finalized...
We're gonna move on because I don't really care about pushing coins that you got paid to push.
And quick clip for Ripple.
The tribalism in this industry is insane. So there's Bitcoin maximalists, but everybody agrees, like, you know, XRP sucks, and I don't really get it, right? I mean,
this is a 30-second clip of actually use case for Michael Arrington.
They're a legitimate company. They don't pretend to be something they're not, and they're really good at one thing: moving money fast and cheap. And it's fantastic. It fills a big need, and for a hedge fund like us to be able to denominate in Ripple and XRP, I just did the same thing, is really, really, really good. We did our first close. We moved north of $50 million into the company in Ripple, in XRP, in like 2 seconds, and it costs 30 cents. Now, that is amazing. There's no way to do that with fiat or Bitcoin. There's just no way to do it that fast and that cheaply. And so it serves a really useful need for us.
That is the video.
All right, shout out to Altcoin Daily for that. All right, let's move on to the recap of things. All right, anybody just joining, if you missed the middle of the video, please go check it out, because I don't know, that guy, Siam Kid, if that's how you say his name, I think he deserves more subs, and I think you guys should watch that video in full if you have time to sit there and listen to it. But anyways, Bitcoin, $61,158. Perfect. Hell yeah, that's sick. 3,047 ETH. We've risen like 2 grand on Bitcoin since the start of the stream. That's sick. That's awesome. The market's opening up, but it already opened up, I think, as of right now, 5 minutes ago. And Dogecoin's pumping up again. Let's see, what's Kaspa like? You know what? I was really debating on flipping my Dogecoin into Kaspa. I don't know if I should do it though. I feel like I should. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer and see what I should do. But I don't know. That guy kind of sold me, man. Kind of sold me on it. I'm not gonna lie. Later on today, for you guys that don't know, if you guys don't know what the Tangent wallet is, I have a meeting with the developers of the Tangent wallet. I gotta do a Zoom call with them. What the oh god, if I could spell it right, that'd be right. Let's see. All right, it's not gonna come up. Is it not tangent.com? What in the all right, hold on. I have a meeting with the developer anyways to get a Misfit Mining branded Tangent. Let's go to the site. Sorry, if you guys are interested in getting a Tangent now though, you can get it with code CCXD, gives you 10% off. But this wallet I use every single day, so we're gonna see what they have to say today. What do I got to do to get us a Misfit Mining branded card? Because I think where is, I don't know where Panda's. I know Panda has his own card, but I don't know where it would be on this site. Partnerships. Oh, partnerships, co-branding. Here we go. All right, so this is where we're gonna try to be for Misfit Mining, the Discord. If you guys aren't a part of our Discord, go check it out. But I made it for everybody, to be a part of everybody. So I'm gonna try to get the Misfit Mining branded card into Tangent. Be awesome. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Ergo needs to be on Tangent. You know what? I'm gonna actually mention to him a few coins. I want to see what he says about that as well, because I know, like, as crypto miners, we all have coins that we want to hold easily. Kaspa was my biggest one, and that I'm glad that's on there. But I want to know what the hell's going on with Dynex. Why is Dynex not on there yet? Why does it keep getting pushed back? What the hell's the deal with Radiant? Where the frick is that going? And Alethioum. Why don't they have Alethioum like on here, the main chain, instead of the, oh yeah, Native Flux too? Like there's a bunch of coins that like should be on here that aren't, and I know it takes time and obviously development and all that, but regardless, we're gonna try to get our own branded wallet. So hopefully that works out, and then you guys should be able to use like anybody's code to get the wallet itself. Like if you want 10% off, right, you should be able to use like RPMs or mine or Kings or Hawks or whoever's got one should have their own. Tangent needs to do some firmware changes to work with Dynex. Really? Firmware changes? Oh, they're probably gonna say forget it then. Why? I wonder why. It's weird. Anyways, let's see. Sustainable crypto. I have Black, White, Kaspa, Panda, Tangent. Oh damn, you have all those. That's awesome, dude. Good for you, man. All right, again, just anybody just joining, we have the Fear and Greed Index. Sorry for the flashbang. 48 over here on the Fear and Greed. Again, if you guys didn't watch this video with this guy Siam Kid, or you didn't see it in the middle of this video, either go back, rewind it, or just go over, give him a like, subscribe to him, check out his channel. This was a very, very interesting video, at least to me. And now you guys know it is Friday. I do always leave you guys with a Friday song, so hopefully you guys have a safe and happy Friday. We're gonna go raid Miss Randy Hipper after this, so stay put. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace. Let's do it. Let me see if I can flip this over. There we go. I wanna hold on till I can't no more. Have a safe and happy Friday. Enjoy your payday. Don't spend it all on Bitcoin, but spend a lot of it. Have a good day and peace. Let's go raid Miss Randy Hipper.
Eat shit, Gary.